The first example I'm going to give you is from the philosophy of the law. Now, legislatures cannot make some things true by fiat. They cannot make it true, for example, that the moon is 3 miles away from the Earth. That would be crazy. But some things duly constituted legislatures can make true by an act of fiat. So, for example, I can, if I'm part of a legislature, I can make it the case that some people have the right to vote, some people don't have the right to vote. All I have to do is, with my colleagues in the legislature, pass the appropriate legislation to establish that. Okay, now, let's suppose that you have a piece of legislation which has the following clauses. This is an hypothetical example. Real cases in law are always contentious, so I'm going to give you a toy example. Let's suppose that the law has these 2 clauses. No woman may vote. Another clause, all property holders may vote. Okay, now you can suppose that at the time when this legislation was passed, the thought that a woman might hold property was actually inconceivable. So legislators never bothered to worry about the possible conflict between these 2 things because it just wasn't a serious possibility. And had it remained that way, no contradiction would ever have arisen. However, let's suppose that as time moves on, some women do become property holders. Now, what happens then when a woman turns up at the polling booth and demands the right to vote? Well, what does the law say? The law says that this person is a woman, and so she may not vote. The law says that all property holders may have a right to vote, and this woman is a property holder, so she does have the right to vote. Now, clearly, in the new contingent circumstances, this law has produced a true contradiction. I might know that there are various mechanisms in law for defusing prima facie contradictions, but not such as to apply to this kind of thing. Now, if this situation were ever to arise, then of course the law would be changed because the law is to serve practical purposes, and this is not very practical. Legislation would be changed, or a judge would make a ruling. However, that is necessary precisely because we were in an inconsistent situation before. In other words, before the law is changed, we have a dilethia.